For this case study, we're going to look at a customer experience target. We'll name it customer experience and we'll write the statement as improve customer satisfaction across the service experience. We'll take it to the target frame, and for our first lens, intent, we will say increase customer satisfaction across the full service experience. That's going to be an ongoing state, and it's going to be a result due to the increase. Then we've got our second lens of control. We'll say influence how customer interactions and service delivery are handled across the organization. That is an influence. Our mechanism, use improve communication, responsiveness, and overall customer engagement. That's a fairly general intention across those three. For our evidence, say customer survey completion rates and positive feedback submissions. It's going to be an early signal of actually whether we're achieving what we want to achieve, and our expectation is to increase customer satisfaction scores across the organization within 12 months. It's going to be a result change because it's an increase across 12 months. So now we're ready to take this upstream and examine the structure. So the structural state has been returned as unsupported. We've got two structural tensions identified. We have control to expectation, mechanism to expectation. Target commits to improving customer satisfaction. We know that. The outcome depends on factors beyond the declared span of control. So it's highlighting control as a considered area that we need to look at. Mechanism is another. Generic mechanism is carrying high structural load relative to the expected outcome. Proceeding implies reliance on factors outside the declared influence and the use of a generic mechanism to achieve a specific outcome. So let's now check the alignment. Again, this doesn't make the target stronger, it just makes it honest. So it's checking the statements match to the declarations we put in. In this case, it's happy that they do. Now we could go back and manually adjust this, but we're going to take this to our resolution. This is where it looks at the statements that we've made, the declarations we've made, and gives us options as to approaches we can take to tighten this target. Okay, so we've got two options here. One is to reduce the expectation. So we can see here, if we look at the expectation, we've now got conduct activities to gather customer feedback across the organization. So what it's saying is that rather than expecting a definite result change in our customer satisfaction, the bits that are within our declared span of control are actually that the activities are completed. So we can conduct these activities, and that is now the expectation. Or on the right hand side here, we've got actually a tightening of the mechanism and the evidence. So we've now moved to facilitate monthly review sessions to assess customer feedback, document service delivery practices, and prepare action plans for improvement based on identified gaps. And for our evidence, we've got records of monthly review sessions, agendas, documented action plans, and attendance logs from the sessions. Now, I would say that this one on the right hand side is actually going in the direction that I would like it to. We've got some tightening going on, but we're keeping the expectation actually the same. So let's move and adopt this approach and then see what this looks like. After adopting this, it's going to automatically check the alignment as well, so that we've got honest reflection, and then it will return the structural reflection for us to look. So interestingly here, even after strengthening the mechanism and the evidence, the structure still comes back as unsupported. So what remains unresolved is actually the relationship between control and the expectation, and control and the mechanism. So proceeding implies dependencies on external factors influencing the outcome and the need for participation that exceeds the declared control. So let's actually look at what that means here. This is actually a really important outcome for us to reflect on. So we're going to move back to the structure itself. What we have here is, if we look at our control, we have influence how customer interactions and service delivery are handled across the organization. So the organization can influence customer interactions, but the expected outcome still depends heavily on customer perception outside direct operational control. So the expectation here, increased customer satisfaction scores across the organization within 12 months, that is still outside of a direct control. So while the structure is now more explicit in what we're doing across our mechanism and evidence, the system still does not consider the declared span of control sufficient to carry the expected outcome.